American candy. I'm even calling it candy. American sweets are just so weird in general. I find like trying American chocolate. Oh my god, that stuff was disgusting. For whatever reason, you guys just like messed with chocolate and made it terrible.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Hot PVM, the show where the questions are spicy and the gameplay is sus. Each episode, I'm going to invite some of your favorite RuneScape content creators to PVM with me and answer questions in the hot seat. This week, we're hanging out with the one and only Mod Sponge, a member of the Combat Council and a bona fide gamer. In his time at Jagex, he has had his hands on some of the most interesting content in the game. The City of Seniston, the Sanctum of Rebirth, the Glacier Front, the Tazar Front, the Croesus Front, Zamorak Lord of Chaos, Necromancy, and so much more. He is an absolute content development legend, but don't just take my word for it, let's hear it from Mod Sponge himself. I'm your host, Ashley, and this is Hot PVM. I haven't been to ED2 in a minute.
Oh shit! I didn't realize you're killing the dudes. My bad. I was sitting there waiting.
No, it's fine. You can just hang out there and we can talk.
Yeah, I'll just chill here. You run it for me, and I'll get the loot. Yeah.
This is actually my least favorite ED.
Nah. This is my favorite. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I think the mobs in ED1 for me, they're just a bit like erratic.
Yeah, it's fun.
Whereas I want to probably like lean back and just just kill everything.
So I stalked you before this. I stalk everyone before I talk to them. And I
know your address.
Yeah, basically. No, I saw, I don't have what's it called? Twitter, but I could see your page because I think it was the first one I visited that day. Oh, I forgot anti-fire. I'm actually gonna die.
You're just juicing the health. Don't worry about it. You got Derek's relic on, right? That's what that is. That's what.
You know, there's a high chance I don't even have PVM relics on. I don't know what I was doing with my life. Okay, I'm coming. I didn't have my super restore or I had nothing on my bars. Okay. I saw that maybe you don't like the spiders in ED2.
Oh, they're just crazy. They'll aggro you from nowhere. Like there's a skip just south of us now where they chill out in the corner, and it's like, cool. I have to step onto a tile, bladed dive, and surge on a single tick to get away from them. Like they're just they will hunt you down. They're crazy.
Yeah. I also hate those spiders. They're kind of annoying.
Arguably, like, it's a weird thing with game design where you can go like, actually, it's a good thing that players don't like them. Like you need that bit of friction of these things are really annoying, but then like it's really satisfying when you just outright murder them all.
I've been known to go back and murder a spider that was like really annoying me in particular.
Yeah, through this one in particular, right? Just go super extra and just like ult it.
I love ED1. You?
I think ED1. I think my problem is I've just not like done it enough. Like I've done some solos, I've done some groups. I think part of it actually is like I prefer group content, and like ED1's not great as a group, especially with like the nerf to drop rates on.
Oh my gosh,
scales.
I know. In a trio, you don't even get like scales.
It's like, yeah, you just get like one coin, and it's like, oh, see ya, thanks. It's like, okay, why don't bother?
Did you QA Elite Dungeons? Or was
that was before my time.
Oh
yeah. So I started. I did a little bit of QA for mining and smithing. Then I kind of came more on board for the end of Anachronia.
Okay.
Then like my proper full project was archaeology, aggro. Where then I spent, I don't know, over a year doing archaeology.
Archaeology is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's very fun to QA. That was very enjoyable.
It was fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that was like very goofy in development. I've spoken about it before on other channels and whatnot. But like the Derek's relic originally, that was just Derek's set effect. And it was it was crazy. You'd go in like legacy mode, and I was hitting like crazy damage numbers. Legacy mode because the Derek set effect, for whatever reason, works better with basic attacks. And you'd just be like constantly like, I think the hit cap at the time was 12k, and it was just like 12k, like main hand and offhand. It was very busted, but it was very fun. There's a lot of goofy things like that was just like part of the design that hadn't been like fully fleshed out.
Do you ever miss QA?
Yeah. I think.
Oh, you go that way. I'm coming.
For me, at the moment, like, there's a bit more pressure and ownership over projects. So it's like if something doesn't hit with players, like, you kind of take it very personally.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I was in QA, I was a bit more detached from it.
Oh yeah, right.
Obviously, I was making sure the quality was there, but like they weren't necessarily my designs. There's a bit of like I miss it for that. And you kind of get to experience like loads of things going on at once because I could be on archaeology, but then I'd be helping out with other projects and helping out with another project. So your workload can be kind of all over the place. There's elements, but at the same time, like no, because I really like designing stuff. I like playing with RuneScript. Like it's very satisfying to use. It's very satisfying to code. I think RuneScape in general is just very satisfying to develop for. So it's a yes and no. There's times where it's like super frustrating, or it's like, why is this thing not working? And it's like, oh yeah, it's just like it's part of the engine. Like,
okay,
I accidentally provided the number wrong.
Everyone always says like they just talk about spaghetti.
Oh.
They just say like, oh, it's RuneScape spaghetti code, and I like, is that like a thing?
No, that's absolutely not a thing. Like, players will see like one thing, and it's like called, oh, this bug happened for a reason. They're like, oh, it's spaghetti, and it's like, no, this happened for a very specific reason. Like, normally it's normally like mod sponge missed something off this like NPC config, and that's why this has happened. It's not actually spaghetti. Okay. Like spaghetti kind of implies that everything's intertwined, and like changing one number somewhere is gonna like blow up Lumbridge or something, and it's like it's full on not like that.
Yeah.
Especially like this like of more modern, like the system design and the tools we work with, they've just like improved so much over the years that spaghetti just like categorically not a thing really anymore. I can't even say it was previously because I've never seen it. I think it's just like it's more of like a meme where you can just go spaghetti.
Yeah. I don't know, like I don't really know what it means. I just assumed it was something like bad.
Yeah, the implication is that like all the spaghetti's intertwined, so you pull one thread and you just like everything starts moving. But yeah, it's not like that. Don't get me wrong. There are interactions where you can be like, that's funny that it happened like that.
Yeah.
But like it's normally. Without getting too much into coding, like it's very much normally there's a good reason for it. I think I can remember one where it was like familiar was hitting itself instead of whatever NPC it was targeting. Which like you could immediately go, spaghetti. Why is it hitting itself? But it's like, no, it's actually a very tame reason. It was just like, it was focusing the wrong NPC. That was protect range. It's like, if I'm attacking an NPC, I'll have that NPC in focus, and you can have. I realize I'm actually going fully into the coding. You can have like, you can have focus on yourself and focus on something else, and it's just the thing had.
Oh, you stand. Oh God, I'm going. I'm going.
I think you'd as well. You can just tank it. I didn't know if you're a block it or if you're a.
I'm a.
Cool, fine. We'll
reflecting.
But yeah, it was just that the NPC was a dev had just plugged in the wrong focus. Like, it's not spaghetti at all. There'll be people that are coders watching this and they'll be like, oh, actually, that makes sense.
Oh my God, I have auto Italian on and everything. I think I was at Firewatch.
Can't remember the last time I did Firewatch. I think like 5 years ago. I'm kind of looking forward to Group Iron Man for that sort of thing, where it's like you get to experience everything again.
Are you playing?
Oh yeah, I will be. Yeah. I don't know exactly who I don't know exactly who we've got. And if Mod Ryan and Ramen invite me to their group of pros or not. If not, I'll start Mod Sponges team with all the cool kids.
Surely you'll get an invite.
It might be like, nah, we don't want this scrub.
Have you played? Like, do you like Iron? Is that something you're into?
Yeah. Thing is, like, I started an Iron about a year ago. Like, I was making good progress on it, but then obviously Group Iron Man got announced, and I was like, I don't really want to waste my time now because I'm going to play Group Iron instead. Damn it, my buff bar is over my prayer icon. So I was like, cool, we'll put that on pause. That way I don't like end up getting bored of it. Because if like I do a quest on my normal Iron Man and then I knew Group Iron Man was coming out, I was like, it probably wouldn't feel good to do some stuff twice.
Yeah.
Like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I'm really looking forward to doing Underground Pass again. But then like doing it for a second time in a row, maybe not.
You like Underground Pass?
Oh yeah, that quest gets a bad rep. That quest is solid. I think my thing. I love quests where you just like you do random shit. It's like there's no lore to it really. I think the lores are added later. It's like cool, yeah. Use this arrow on this and set it on fire and shoot that rope. And it's like yeah, sick. That's really cool. It feels like a gameplay heavy quest where like I'm not missing anything by spacebarring it. There's so much like random stuff going on. Like you push a boulder on a unicorn, and it's just like it's very RuneScape-y to me. I think it's very good.
I think I like my favorite quests are the silly little random quests. The best quest series in the game is the Slime King.
Oh, stop it.
No, I'm being like for real.
You're trying to get me to fall into a trap or
something.
No one likes
that. Yeah, it's amazing. They're great. And
I did that for the first time. I think like a month ago. It was interesting. Right? I didn't enjoy it. It's very weird. I don't know. Like I don't really know what the point of the quest was.
I don't think there is one.
Right, that's fair.
Like that I can tell.
I think that we were going through a phase where I think it was like, let's make portal quests, and there'll be like short quests.
Oh, I love them. You get the best cosmetic from that quest.
Is it the top hat?
Mm-hmm. I wore that hat for like 2 years.
No.
I love hats. I love top hats.
I just don't feel like they fit in RuneScape really. It's like it's utterly confused timing, right? It's like a medieval game, but we got top hat. Again, we have a bunch of weird stuff like that. So like I can dress up as a cow. Like that's been in the game since like minute 1.
Yeah. I don't know when it got away from the medieval theme, but I feel like that's
It's just
like out
it's
the
it's
window.
fantasy now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually something like irks me internally. If I see something and I'm like, it doesn't fit, like I'll be straight on that. I'll be like, what is this doing? Someone messaged me like prior to the froggy outfit going out, and they were like, "You don't have a problem with this?" And I was like, "Hell no, I don't have a problem with this." I was like, "This is great." I was like, "The Frog Prince outfit and the Frog Mask and whatnot, that's been in games like forever. This is like proper RuneScape." They were very taken aback because normally I'm against that sort of thing.
I don't mind these little bits where you're not doing anything for a while.
They're all right. I mean, like after after like the 400th one, it's like. Ugh.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like is like the fire just takes on a mind of its own. I'll be like standing and it'll just like turn left on me.
Yeah.
Like, cool, thanks.
Well, it was great because we used to just hide in a corner before.
Yeah, right.
And then they were like, oh, funny. We'll change the fire.
Let's not do that.
No, I don't mind it. The one that gets me is ED1 Masuda. That one's a little.
Oh no, Masood. Yeah, he's the bane of my existence. That dude messes me up every time I fight him. It doesn't matter how much power creep is in the game, he gonna kill me.
Do you consider yourself like a really good PVMer?
No, I will do everything. I wouldn't ever consider myself like really good.
Yeah.
I normally like have my own way about it. There was a bit where I was like following like PVME like pro guides for stuff like do this and this. I just kind of like playing the game how I like to play it. So I will absolutely like just do everything slow and steady. I'm a big one for like unlocking everything, so I'll like max out my gear and whatnot. But yeah, definitely not pro. I make too many mistakes to be pro. 6 energies.
Oh, I don't even look at my loot. I got 6 too.
See, you're more pro than I am because you just like you're too cool to look at the loot. It's like walking away from an explosion, right? Like, I need that.
Oops, I didn't reset it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not
It's
good.
because I was still in here. It's because I was still in there. I was taking that long to get out.
Wait, where were you? Oh, were you?
I was checking my loot. Yeah. I'm just checking it.
Okay, I have a very important question.
Go for it.
Why is your name Mod Sponge?
So my gamer tag ever since I was a kid for everything has been something sponge. You can see like my in-game name right now is Evil Sponge.
Yeah.
And that specific one was from an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob makes Doodle Bob, who's the evil drawing version of him, and for whatever reason that kind of vibed with me. So now it's just everything is X-Sponge in some form. And it really, really pisses me off when someone's taken my name on something. I'm like, who else just happened to really like Doodle Bob and also get the name wrong because you just considered him evil? So yeah, it really irks me. So for whatever reason, like my name is often like Mod Sponge 74 or something because everyone else turns out has followed suit for me.
Oh my gosh, that's not what I expected.
It's very upsetting. I really like sponge cake or something.
I had no idea. I was like trying to think about it.
Massive SpongeBob fanboy as a kid.
I love SpongeBob.
American candy. I'm even calling it candy. American sweets are just so weird in general. I find, like, trying American chocolate. Oh my god, that stuff was disgusting. For whatever reason, you guys just like messed with chocolate and made it terrible.
What kind did you try?
Hershey's.
Okay.
Awful. Dreadful. I don't know what you did with it. I don't know. It's just terrible.
What's a good chocolate to you?
Like Cadbury's is fine. That's like the UK like standard. I forget the name of it. We have this chocolate. It's pretty sure it's not even from here. I think it's Belgian, but it's like they're all shaped into seashells, and
Oh.
they taste amazing. They're like one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
Like cheap every day. Like yeah, I'm eating. If you're eating chocolate every day, then it's probably Cadbury's or like Maltesers or something.
Yeah. Okay, like a lot of our chocolate is actually nasty. The only time I go for Hershey's is when I'm having s'mores, but you guys don't really eat s'mores, do you?
Yeah, I tried, but it's like you guys have like graham crackers or graham crackers, whatever you call them, and it's like I don't even know what they are.
I
And
don't
that's
think we
like
do either. I don't know what it is.
oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm not sure.
So like I've tried marshmallow and chocolate in different forms, and it's always really good.
Okay, I had to ask you this because everyone that I've talked to from the UK has very strong opinion. How do you feel about peanut butter?
Ooh, so that's actually a good question because I don't like it in sandwiches, but I like it in chocolate, which is kind of on par with what we were talking about. So
Okay,
like
yeah.
peanut butter like M&Ms, banging. Peanut butter sandwich, dreadful.
Okay.
But also to be fair, like because I don't like it on its own in a sandwich, I've never tried like peanut butter and jelly or what you would call peanut butter and jelly. What would you say like peanut butter and jam? So, but I could
Yeah.
see it working. Yeah, on its own, I'm not super fond.
So like you've just had just a peanut butter sandwich?
I've tried it on its own, and it's made me go, yeah, nah, I wouldn't want that with bread.
Oh yeah, that's like a desperation meal here. We would never just eat peanut butter by itself.
Peanut butter fingers. You just put your fingers in it and then eat them.
Oh, I just
Right?
put it on a spoon and eat it.
Oh
I
no,
love
that's
peanut
gross.
butter.
Oh god, that's awful. Just eat some peanuts. God.
You had to try a fluffer nutter.
What
It's
what
ju-
is a fluffer?
it's just
Is that like fluff as in marshmallow fluff?
yeah, it's just marshmallow fluff and peanut butter on a sandwich.
That
Sandwich. It's
sounds alright because it's the sweet and the salty.
yeah.
Um,
It's so good.
I'm kind of inconsistent when it comes to like nuts in chocolate though. Like I don't like
Yeah.
Snickers for whatever reason. Like I don't like the weird texture change of like there's just a whole peanut here in your chocolate. I'm like, no thanks. It's really weird. It's really weird. Like there's so many like cultural differences between England and America. Like
Yeah.
even like in RuneScape, we'll put something and you'll have some Americans that are like, what? I don't really get it. Like we couldn't do anything like beans in game because like you guys, that's where you just don't eat beans. You have a different understanding of beans as like that's like the mainstay British cuisine.
I couldn't imagine myself putting beans on toast.
Honestly, like Pup is obsessed with beans. I'm sure I've seen him banging on about Heinz beans. Like it's once you try it, you go, actually, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Do y'all put him on what are they called? Baked potatoes?
Some people do. It's common enough. You get some weird things where like people are like, yeah, I'm gonna put the beans in a pastry with cheese. That's like that for me is odd. Like I'll go as far as having it like beans on toast or like with a full English breakfast. I would never personally choose to have it on a baked potato. But yeah, it's definitely a common thing. I did see like recently online out there people queuing for a potato place in the UK, and I'm just like, this is so absurd. It's like you're making everyone think the worst of us. I swear. Like, there's a mile long queue of people.
Yeah, I actually have seen
queuing for a
that.
baked potato. Like,
Yeah,
this is just crazy.
and I assumed that was normal or something there.
No,
Oh,
it's really
like you guys
not.
aren't crazy.
It might be in like it might be like in the cities for whatever reason, where it's
Yeah.
like where everything's packed. But it's not like you can just set up a baked potato stall somewhere and do like crazy well off of it. Like people don't run to the streets for baked potatoes with beans. It's not like it's not that deep.
Okay. Like I don't know. I try not to judge, but I saw a video and they're like, yeah, we've been waiting for 2 hours. Like, why would you do that?
Right,
It's a baked potato.
But I think I saw that same one and I was like, nah, this has to be a meme. Like, no one's waiting 2 hours for a potato. Just make your own. I'm pretty sure you could grow a potato and eat it in that time.
One thing that doesn't hit for me like it does for some other people, I guess, is I didn't even know what they were until maybe a few months ago, but I didn't know party hats were like a real thing.
You guys don't have party hats?
I guess that's something you guys do around Christmas time?
Yeah, so like we have crackers on the table, and in those you get a party hat.
Yeah,
Like, hence the Christmas cracker and the party hat. Like that's one of those English things. I guess it's just not like.
I thought it was a RuneScape
It's really
thing.
weird to be in game.
Like my whole life, I thought it was a RuneScape thing.
That's excellent.
I had no idea, and I was talking to my friend from the UK, and I was like, I think party hats are so ugly. Why do people love them? And he's like, party hats are amazing. You shut up. And I was like, why are you so defensive?
That's so funny. But yeah, like normally you'll get like something really shit that you never asked for. You'll get like a tiny deck of cards or like some nail clippers or it's often like a bottle opener, and then you get a little joke inside as well, and they're always terrible. That's like it's part of the appeal.
Oh. One of my friends wanted me to tell you something.
Sure.
I'm gonna read it because I thought the way he said it was hilarious. He says, we can be stressy little bitches, but high-level PVMers appreciate everything that you do. You have some tough skin to take on PVM changes.
That goes a long way. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's actually like one of the hardest parts of the job is like doing stuff that like upsets people or like find out afterwards is upset people. Like it's actually a really hard part of the job. Because like nothing's done with bad intentions, but people take it as if you have. It's like, oh, you didn't do this, you hate us all. And it's like, no, that's not it at all. We like at the end of the day, we just want everyone to have fun. And sometimes that can get lost. So like, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. You're very popular. People love Mod Sponge.
Am I?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it's up and down. Like it depends what I'm doing. It depends what I'm doing at a given time. It depends what I'm talking about. It's like if my mod Nerf alter ego comes out, then I hate it.
Okay, yeah.
But like that's just part and parcel of it. My favorite thing with that, like I started the mod Nerf internally, and then like I mentioned it on the stream once, and then like players have kind of used it almost. It feels like they're trying to insult me without realizing like I did it myself because I'm like acutely aware that I'm the one that's always talking about Nerfs. But yeah, I enjoy it.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't like. How do I say this without sounding like an ass? I don't interact with most people that play the game anymore.
You don't talk to RuneScape players. You don't.
I definitely have.
Don't like to make acquaintances with RuneScape players.
Yeah, I've fallen into that cycle of I have my like 3 people that I do high-end PVM with, and that's it. So amongst those people, they speak very highly of you.
I respect that. Like you play the game how you want. That's ultimately like the best bit of RuneScape, right? You just play it however you want.
Yeah.
You do pretty much everything solo. You don't have to talk to anyone, but then you can play with players for the most part. I mean, like, but there's times where I'm like the same. Where I'm like, I'm not going to interact with players today. Like my mental can't take it. But I enjoy interacting with players, even if something negative's going on. Like, I actively enjoy like talking to players and seeing what they want, seeing what they like.
Do you get hounded a lot? Like, do people like? Are you constantly getting pinged and messaged or
Oh
like?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. It's to the point where like my Discord notifications, like my Discord DMs, it's like a few hundred long. I just can't keep up with it to the point where I'm like, I don't really reply to people on Discord anymore. Mostly because it's like, can you unban me? And it's like, you don't understand what I can do at all. Like that's nowhere near remotely my job role.
I
I
thought
don't
that
have
was
that
like
power.
a meme because all of you guys like have it as like your status or your info
It's it,
message
it
or
I get someone messaging me asking to be unbanned or muted at least like 3 times a week. Like not even joking. Like they're deadly serious. Um, or they'll be like they'll just tag like half the company in a tweet,
yeah.
and it's like you're not like you're not really getting what these people do. Like they'll be tagging artists, and it's like, what are you doing with your life? I appreciate like obviously getting banned sucks.
Yeah.
But for like I don't know, but I'd say the vast majority of those people, like it's a ban for a reason, and they're just trying to like game the system or get
Yeah.
sympathy. It's like don't tag the artist asking to get unbanned. Don't tag me asking to get unbanned because I can't do it.
Well, they see that and then they go, yes, they can. They just don't want to.
Yeah,
They
they just
just
don't want it, right?
won't.
It's like no, there's official processes for things, and like I support will moan at me if I'm just in there hounding them, asking to look at some random player that I've never interacted with. I'm like, yeah, they say they're legit, and they'll go and check their account and be like, we can see proof here, 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 and here that they're not. Cool. I've just wasted everyone's time.
Do you have all the Dungeoneering unlocks?
Not all of them, no. I'm not even 120. I'm 117. Like, I enjoy Dungeoneering, and I also don't enjoy Dungeoneering. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like, I think I'd really like it if it was modernized. Like, there's so much old and janky bits about it that like I don't interact with it often.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Dungeoneering whole enjoyer. I don't really like the mindless AFK stuff like that. It's not really my sort of thing.
I don't get the obsession with the whole.
It's just like it's people again. I don't know if it's like a little bit of a meme or not.
Yeah.
I've not really been on a vet to know like what the engagement is on it, but it's like people. Is it just a meme that is like the whole, or is it like people actually like all the XP? I think it's just, like a lot of people dislike Dungeoneering. I think is the part, so let's them skip it.
I don't know
I get
why. I love it's my favorite skill. It's so good.
I think it'd be up there for me, like I said, if it was modernized. I think that's like if I had total control and I could choose an update, it'd be like less modernized Dungeoneering and make it cool.
Like modernize it in what way?
I think to like add some new puzzles to it, make it a little bit prettier, give it more of a reason to exist. Like a lot of Dungeoneering's reason to exist is like the reward store, and it doesn't really mean anything nowadays. Like back in the day, it was like chaotics and stuff. It was really cool. Like you needed it as part of your progression. Whereas now it's like you can basically just ignore Dungeoneering for the most part. It doesn't like have much of a reason to exist. Like in general, it's a really weird skill because like you look at Dungeoneering's outputs and it's like this is just a skill of random buffs. And it's like that is all you get out of the skill is literally just random buffs.
Yeah, it is.
Like cool, I can crush bones now, but my crafting's cheaper and I have access to a tier 80 weapon, and it's just like it's all over the place. But there's cool stuff where it's like cool. I get like the little dungeons I can go in. I think that's very good. I think an example of like a good Dungeoneering update could be like here's Dungeoneering, but it's like in Anachronia. You go into a different dungeon that's not Daemonheim, so it's all themed differently. It has different outputs. I think that could be cool.
Do you think people would interact with Dungeoneering if it got updated?
If the incentive was there, like I'd say like as much as someone's going to interact with fire making, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you make like the reason to do it good enough, people would.
What do you love about RuneScape? I actually really want to know, like, because you play RuneScape, you work on RuneScape. What do you love about RuneScape?
It's a good question, and it's hard to nail down. I think, like, I think it being like a big part of my childhood for a start is like part of the reason I love it. Like, I was always a RuneScape player, not a WoW player. There's something familiar about it. I think there's a lot of quirks to it that just like make the game interesting. And to some extent, like there'll be updates where I'm like, you're kind of removing a quirk, or you're making the game feel less RuneScapey. Like on release, I wasn't super sure of the smithing, the original mining and smithing update, because I felt like it removed a RuneScape quirk, which was like gear is just like wackily staged throughout the game. We're not like other MMOs, right? Level 70, you can make level 70 gear, right? It was like you can make rune at level 90, and it's kind of useless to you then, but it's like it's good money. It's like it's very quirky, and I like those quirks. I don't really like games where everything's very vanilla, very very linear. It's part of the reason I've kind of had a few problems with EOC when it launched as well, because it kind of did that, where it made things a bit more vanilla and a little less special. Like some of them I've grown to love over the years, but there's stuff like I wasn't keen on when EOC first came out. I was like, yeah, everything is now like a full set. Like Bandos suddenly got gloves and a shield, and it's like everything is just like the same, just retextured. Is how it felt. I feel like the game lost some quirkiness there. But yeah, I couldn't really tell you why exactly I love it. I think the story is very good. And I think there is quirkiness again to like the slow tick system and the tile-based nature, which we're kind of like re-leaning back into. Like you see, with Sanctum was like let's just embrace tiles. I think it was Modjack maybe originally that was like tile-based game. Like stop trying to pretend we're not a tile-based game. Like the RuneScape is a tile-based game. Just embrace it.
Yeah.
And like part of the problem I have is I'm trying to get around things. Like you can look at like Carapac walls for the longest time. There might even still be an issue now, where it's like you don't really know where they're going because like the mechanic tried to pretend it's not tile based. And really, like that mechanic would have performed just as well if you just gone straight along the tiles in different directions, like perfectly diagonal. More like QBD firewall as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of went off like a million tangents
No,
there. But I don't know why I like RuneScape. It's fun. Number go up.
I think that's a lot of people are like that. Like even me. Like I don't know why I love RuneScape. Like I don't know. I just like it.
Just like it, yeah.
It's just
if it's like if someone asks you, family member asking you, I don't know why I play it. It's just fun. Being a long grind is part of what I like about RuneScape, and part of the reason like I don't like just the crazy accelerated like XP rates we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
Like the best part of RuneScape for me is like the journey to maxing, and like, oh, I need to do this thing to get this thing to do this thing. Like that's what I find enjoyable. Like after maxing for a while, I felt kind of lost. Where I was like, what do I do now? It's like, oh, cool, the end game side, but actually, like, I like the journey more than the end game. I feel like that's probably part of the reason I'm so invested in stop running into fire into Group Iron Man. Oh my lord!
To get that,
oh no!
To get that like grind again.
There's fire everywhere.
There's fire everywhere.
Is that coming towards me? Yeah. God, I love and hate this boss. It's so erratic. Castle Wars, Pest Control, like all the mini games were absolutely banging.
Yeah, they've been dead since I've been. I
Really
haven't.
bad. It's something that like it really irks me. Like
I hate to say dead,
if
but
I
they're
no, they're 100% dead. I think they could be revived. I think like you can look at Soul Wars and there's enough of a core there where you could make it interesting. It's just like how do you handle PvP there? What do you do to make it more interesting? What do you put in it so that players want to do it? Like what rewards does it give? Because like everything in those kind of categories are outdated.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that are like, don't ever bother making mini games, but like I actually think they could have a place. You can kind of look at any content really and be like, yeah, we can make this work.
Do you think you should? Is it like it?
That's the better question. Like, is it worth like the return of time? Like, how much time would it take to make Soul Wars good? Right? Like, it's a hard question to answer. So probably not. It's probably like more of a can we make this thing really cool and game jam? It'd be nice to get players back into a perspective of where they're like, yo, this content's really fun and that's enough.
Yeah.
Like we probably live in a society where that's not ever going to be enough again. Like everyone's so efficiency based.
Yeah. That is true. Do you think it's okay for things to just kind of like fizzle out and die out and not really?
It kind of depends on what it is. Like
Yeah.
I would say something like Pest Control, not really. I'd say that's kind of like more core RuneScape for a lot of people. Like there's a lot of memories there. Like they wouldn't want it removed when they don't like it dead. With some stuff, like I have no qualms it being removed. Like at one point there was talks about removing the Vine Sweeper minigame, and I was like, no one does it. I agreed with it fundamentally. I was like, no one does it, and I can't remember anyone really positively talking about it. So like removing complexity in that form's good. But at the same time, like you could just leave it there and just leave it dead. Like it doesn't necessarily hurt anyone.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Vine Sweeper is?
No.
What? You can get seeds there.
Oh.
Damn, missing out.
What about weapons?
What about them?
Not like dying out, not being usable.
Not
having a use, really.
I don't really like it. Like to an extent, I feel like most stuff should have a use. That's very RuneScapey to me.
Yeah.
It's also like a bit of a problem I have with EOC. Like to an extent, EOC kind of killed like stab/crush, like as stats, whereas before, you could justify the existence of like Chaotic Maul and Chaotic Longsword and Chaotic Rapier as three separate weapons because there was three separate types and they all had their niche. Whereas now, not really. Like I'd prefer it if everything had some sort of niche, even if it's just like you use this whilst you're between level 80 and 82. Like that's fine for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think like right now, you can look at like seismics, like they're kind of dead right now.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas like I think like you could give them a perk, you could give those a stat effect or something so they're like a little niche. Do something whilst using Nerf spells or something that makes them kind of cool for Slayer, or just make a normal player want them in some form.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like RuneScape's always kind of killed off weapons in ways. Like when Chaotix came out, like the whip was pretty much dead after being iconic for however long. It's not ideal, but it kind of happens. What I don't like is more like you can look at Rago for the most part, and there's like seismics for like kind of all the excitement from the drop table, really, and now that's gone a bit.
Yeah.
Like you can't say it's only drop because Tectonic exists, right? And that's still usable / wanted to an extent.
Yeah.
But, like, the excitement's not there. There's no like, oh damn, we got this thing. It's just like, cool. There's more of those. So it's not ideal, I don't think, personally.
You mentioned Tectonic. Do you have any feelings about people using Sliske? I don't even understand it. Like, that's like beyond like what I do in the game.
It's just when you do the math, the crit bonus from the Sliske armor comes out as more damage than the magic bonus from Tectonic armor whilst you're in like Fasoa. It might even be out of Fasoa. I actually don't know the exact numbers.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it because I feel like the magic armor should be the best thing for magic. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like it that it's given Sliske armor a use because I don't really feel like it's had any niche till then. I'd prefer it if it was more of a hybrid niche that was like, cool, I'm gonna run magic and melee, so I'm gonna bring the Sliske armor. Like that makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
I think like it's pretty resolvable. Like Tectonic does need an effect at some point. Like Sirenic got one, right? So it makes sense for Tectonic to get one at some point. Yeah, the situation isn't ideal, I don't think.
I saw people doing that, and I just like one that's like too much for me.
This is the level, yeah, I get you. I like to min max my gear, but I still wouldn't use Sliske because I just don't like it. I just use the stuff I like, really. As weird as that sounds.
Use it for Slayer, and then that makes a long time ago, and that was it.
Makes sense because you could use it for any style, right? No matter what your task is, no matter what you're using.
Yeah. Well, I used Port's armor, and then got tired of switching.
Yeah, it makes sense. I used Port's armor for the longest time. I feel like a lot of players did. Like it wasn't good, but loads of people did it. As weirdly as that sounds.
I don't know. I have like a very weird, strong attachment to my Port's armor.
Yeah, I get that. The thing that irked me the most with Port's armor was the janky set effect they got. I was like, that could have been so cool, and then they got a set effect that was just like, you find Port stuff, and I was like, no.
Did they have I didn't even...
Yeah, they have a set effect! When you get the boots and gloves from the Ark, they have a set effect, and it's like, when you do something, you have a chance to get a casket of Port stuff.
Oh.
Like, it could have been so cool. And then it wasn't.
I feel like I should explain myself. I often like use things and don't actually like what they do.
That is actually like there's a large majority of the game that do stuff like that where it's like, well, the guys over there said I should do this, so I'm doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then the guys over there find out something, and they're like, "Oh no, you guys should have been doing this other thing the whole time." And like that's the very funny moments. The PVME groups, like they're obviously great.
Yeah.
There was a funny moment. I think it was the jazz book or it was the full book, where on Necro they were like, everyone use this because this is the best one. And then like 6 months later, they went, oh, the other one's the best one. And you just saw the prices of the things just like flip because everyone just got on board and went for the best one that they realized. It was like so many people just kind of like jumped on the bandwagon because they'd been told that this one was the best.
They do. It's wild, and I actually have something very funny to tell you about that. I don't know when you posted it, but you posted a screenshot of, I think it was a game jam where you were looking at cooking.
Yeah. That'd have been, I think that would have been like March or something. It's been March or last November. I forget what order I did stuff in.
So like when you guys post things like that, like you send people into a buying frenzy.
Into a frenzy, yeah, I know, yeah.
Like an absolute frenzy. Just like anything that they think might be related to something that could potentially come into the game in some amount of time. Like they just, it doesn't matter.
It's like, oh no, please don't.
Well, I have a friend who like it's so I don't want to laugh, but it's so bad. He saw this picture, and
Oh
you had
no.
on there kebbit meat, I think, and
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
he's got this idea in his head that anything kebbit related might like be
Uh-oh.
used one day. So he started buying
Started
a bunch of
stockpiling
kebbit
habits.
fur.
God,
He started buying stockpiling kebbit
that's
fur
so funny.
to merge it.
Oh no.
Yeah, and like I was like, but why would they put fur in food?
Yeah, right.
And
What?
he's like, no, I could see it.
It's the sort of thing where it's like on those game jams is like, cool. I'm just using items that exist, so I don't have to make them. But really, like, maybe I should actually. Oh shit! The bomb exploded on me.
Oh.
I nearly killed you. That's fine. We good.
Yeah,
We're
it's
right.
okay.
I nearly died again. Like maybe I should just like put placeholder things. Like for the most part, they are placeholders, but people still get the wrong idea of them. Like, oh, yeah, it's really awkward. It's really hard because like you want to share that stuff with the community and like see what people see what people feel. So like the more close to real game that it feels, the better because players get more of a feel for it. So if I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
using this kebbit meat and this thing, they go, oh, okay, that makes sense. Where if I was like, yeah, I'm using logs for cooking this thing, and they'd be like, why the fuck are you using logs? Like that doesn't make sense. And it's like immediately they're detached from the point of it, and they get like obsessed around this micro thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it'd be good to like I try to avoid players merching stuff where I can.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to. Players will latch onto anything.
Like anything.
Anything.
Any little
There's
thing.
yeah, it's really hard because like there are some like nefarious players out there where they'll be like, "Yo, can you fix this thing?" And they're like, "I've just bought 50,000 of it." Like obviously they don't tell you that. But then like they'll post on Reddit tagging me, and then someone else will message me on Discord or something like, just as a heads up, this person's bought this amount of this thing, and that's why they're asking you to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's really awkward because like yes, I do want to fix that thing, but now it's like if we fix that, that guy's kind of winning because of that thing.
Yeah.
And it's like there's someone on Twitter that often like tags me, and they're like, when are you going to fix this thing? And it's like so clear that they've just bought a load of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, how you make me not want to fix the thing?
Uh-huh.
It's like that just makes my job like annoying. Because I hate bugs. Like they're the bane of my existence. I just want to just make it, remove it, make everything consistent. Like that actively. Oh, anti-fire. That just like makes my life awkward. And I'll be like, ask the team, like, what do we do about this? But yeah, damn merchers. At the same time, when they keep it in game, I'm fine with it. Like if players are just like buying out something to merch and not taking it offline, I'm fine with it. When you take it online, you take your merching like, oh, I'm going to trick these people into buying this thing or doing this thing.
Yeah.
That's when I've got no time for it. Like then they like people play RuneScape how they want to play it. If you want to play it as a merching game, like I have no issue with that. But keep it in the game.
Never attempted to merch anything. A few times my friends have been like, hey, this thing is going to be used for this, so you should get one, before people merch it and jack up the price. And you're like, okay, cool. Or they'll be like, hey, you should buy like a few of these just in case, and it's something really cheap. And I'm like, okay, whatever, sure.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like whatever. I don't know. I don't really get into it myself, but I just
my issue like prior to joining Jagex was like if I tried to merch, I'd lose money no matter what. Like I couldn't sit on something and be like, this is gonna go up, and I know it. Like after I don't know 2 hours, I'd be like, that's it. I'm insta selling it. It's gonna go down, and I just end up losing money. And obviously, like since joining Jagex, like there's very strict things of what you can't do. So then like merching is just like fully out the window.
Oh yeah, I guess that would be really bad if you guys could like.
Yeah, right. I'm
merch
going to buy
stuff.
out all of this. It's like, yeah, exactly. All that sort of thing's monitored, like very heavily. None of it happens.
Oh, so no insider trading.
Exactly. Unfortunately, otherwise, I'd have a party hat and stuff, but instead I'm here with my like dregs.
Do you have any rare items, or well, do you have?
Nah, I have no discontinued. So I had a Halloween mask at one point. They were pretty cheap, anyways.
Yeah.
But no, I'm a poor person, I'm afraid.
You're a poor person.
I just end up spending all my money on gear. I fully don't comprehend how people get the money for stuff like party hats. It's just like wild to me.
I don't even know how much party hats cost, because I want to say I don't either, but
Exactly, right?
think well, like I think they're ugly.
No, party hats
So,
they're really nice.
I've never like looked at the prices of them because like
I really like party hats. I really like Halloween masks.
Yeah.
I'm not super keen on Santa hats.
See, I like the Santa hats. That's what I have, or the Santa hats.
Which ones?
All of them.
You got the original one. Nice.
Yeah. I don't understand the Halloween masks. I guess it's just like an old RuneScape thing.
They were just like, they were supposed to be like monsters, look like demon masks or monster masks when they came out. But obviously, like they're so dated now that they just look like a bit silly.
Yeah.
I think like obviously the golden party hat came out and that had like nice new fresh textures and whatever. I think it'd be quite nice to see like a more modern Santa hat, a more modern Halloween mask. I think that could be cool.
I like the scary stuff. There's some things that are, well, like this, for example. Like the Wraith Walk is like kind of spooky. This is a little scary. I like stuff like that.
Kind of RuneScape, you scared. Yeah. See, I in general I don't like walkover rides because they do such like funky stuff with random animations. Like I'll have a walkover ride on and I'll go like pick a farming patch and my guy's just like popping up and down. I'm just like, I've got no time for this. I'll go back to the base one.
Well, the hot sand walk should be illegal.
I feel like all of them should be, in all honesty. I think like there's a level of goofiness I just don't like.
Okay. I like goofy, but not all.
I think like goofy is good to an extent. Like Boulder Pet, banging. Pup wearing the Ogre Infiltrator set, awful. Please delete this from the game. It looks dreadful. Like there is very much limits on what goofiness should be in. Like I like the recent Froggy one. That's a good level of goofy. But yeah, some of it is just like, oh no, this is too far. I get the feeling your one's it's gonna have jazz hands or something in it, isn't it?
Of course it has
jazz hands. Oh, for God's sake. It's just like, oh.
You don't like jazz hands?
There's some things that are like cosmetics in game, and I like most of them made when I was like not in the company, and I'm like, why was this made? Like, where was the decision making to go? Yeah, let's make jazz hands, or like the Russian Christmas doll thing. Like, who decided like that was good and players wanted that? I don't really understand it. Like, it's just so goofy. Players like a certain exact level of goofy, and after that, like they're not wearing it.
So I have to ask this one because I want to know. Like, what's your favorite contribution to RuneScape?
Oh,
You've done a lot of honestly my favorite content in the game. You've like touched. Like, I loved the Elder God Wars era. That was like actually I think my favorite time playing RuneScape was when all of that was new and coming out, and that's also great. Well, I don't love Croesus, but I don't like skilling bosses so much, so that's not like it's a personal thing. It's not
I've had to look at my rune. My memory is honestly like a goldfish, so I have to
It's
like
the
look at
age.
stuff I've worked on. It really is. Um,
The City of
I don't
Seniston
really
quest was like
know.
amazing.
That was very enjoyable. That was like my first proper content.
Yeah.
That was very fun to work on. Um, yeah, I liked my contribution on that.
Did you just go to your wiki
Samurai
page?
thing. Yeah, wikied myself. um, Zamorak was obviously a big one. The problem is, like, me as a person, I look at all these things and I see the issues with them. So I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm just like,
okay.
if I
Yeah.
part of me wants to pick out the thing with the least issues, and it's like realistically, that's not actually. Um, Archaeology was very good, even though it was like QA. I think that's probably one of my favorite updates to work on. Um, if not Zamorak or Necro, even with their issues. I often say Garden of Corinne is actually one of my favorites, and I think that's because I see less issues in it than other things. And with the time that we had for it, like it was a very small project, we did so much.
Yeah.
Um, but that was just a small skilling update, and like we just randomly threw in a bunch of thieving stuff in there and changes. Like we changed loads of farming core code. Like even then, like there's still issues. Like I don't like the one of the rewards. I was like, eh. I'm not still super sold on the multi-seeding stuff. But overall, like it is a very positive update for me at least. But yeah, it's very hard for me to pick out because like, I just see the issues of everything here.
Because they're all so good.
I think I'm quite self-deprecating. Like
Is
when I'm
that
talking
a
on Discord,
British thing?
yeah, 100%.
I've noticed that.
Mod Ryan will like slap me and be like, "What are you doing? This thing's great," and I'll be like, "I don't like this, and this." Um, like quite often players will be like, "Oh, I love this reward," and I'm like, "Shit, I hate it," and they're like, "What? But you made it," and I'm like, "Yeah, I hate it now." I'm like, because I just like I could just see everything that could have been better with it. I think.
You're like a perfectionist? Or not so
Not
much?
necessarily. I don't think perfectionist. I
Uh-huh.
think I just don't like clear problems.
Right.
Like I'm very I don't. There's a saying I like that's like don't let perfect be the enemy of good, because quite often we'll try and make something perfect and you spend so much time with it when really you could have just done it and it'd have been good.
Uh-huh.
And you could have done like a few good things, or you'll just not do something because it's only good and not perfect. But it's more like if there's a clear like design issue with something that I don't like, then I'll probably perceive it negatively.
These just come up the stairs.
Yeah, they were bored of waiting. What's your favorite piece of content, like overall? Not mine, just in general.
Oh, not yours, just in general?
Not mine, not mine. No. I feel like
Uh,
that's like if I was like, "What's your favorite bit of my content?" That's like egotistical. Like
no,
what?
well, I don't know.
That
I don't
seems
think so.
it.
I don't, no, it wouldn't be. Maybe if like you just randomly, but since we're talking about it, well, in general, I guess my favorite thing to do, it's weird because I guess it changes over time, but the thing that's remained consistent like forever that I love to do is Elite Dungeon 1. Honestly, it's like I could go there forever and never hate myself. Like,
Makes sense.
more like temporary. I've fallen in love with Virago
Nice.
recently. And that's just a pure fun thing because you don't get too much
Yeah.
else out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's just playing the game for fun. I like to go to Virago. Although
I think like
uh-huh.
I think with stuff like Virago, I think like the big thing RuneScape misses is group content. Like something just like playing with other people, like you just get wacky moments and you get goofy stuff that happens, and it just makes the game much more fun, I find, at least.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that, like, I don't know anything about anything, but I I wish that there were more new bosses like Virago and Solak and like those, AOD, like those kind of really like group bosses where there's a lot going
100%.
on, and I love those things.
I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I think like really mechanical, where you're relying on other players to do stuff, like top notch.
Real teamwork, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like something where you can't just like clutch up, as a player.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like that stuff. But I'm not a PVMer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like all you do
after
some point.
Yeah, I kind of get it. Like,
yeah.
It's like, why am I going to mine a rock for however long when I could go do this thing, make exponentially more money, and be more engaged?
Yeah, so when I'm skilling, like, I wouldn't say I love skilling. I definitely treat that as like a second screen, like, activity while I'm working, or...
Yeah.
But I love quests. That's, like, I guess my number one favorite thing about RuneScape is, like, I love quests. I love them. Can't get enough of them. I think RuneScape has the best quests of any game that I've ever played. So far, at least.
Yeah, I think that is something it does really special. I am more of like a legacy quester in the sense of like I like the old stuff. I think that's just like probably nostalgia more than anything.
That you've done, I would say Elder God War, like just all of it. I love that stuff.
All of that
I think that's
EGWD.
my favorite. Although, I think so.
I think Elder God was the most epic.
It did feel very epic. You guys made that feel so epic.
There is some goofiness to it that I still don't like.
What?
Like, you can basically just like walk in there. In fact, I think you can just walk in there, like, and you just join it mid-story. Like, I hate that.
Oh yeah.
Like, RuneScape to me is like long chains of requirements, and like I need to do this thing to do this thing to do Ritual the Marjarat to kill Clay, right? And then it's like, oh, but you can just join the story partway through, and there's a bunch of people you don't know, and they're fighting, and there's this guy from this other quest that you've not met yet, and I'm just like, it just feels icky to me. I kind of wish like that's the sort of thing, like if we could go back and just like add requirements to that. It probably wouldn't go down well. That's like obviously the key concern, and it's not down to me to do that sort of thing. But there's goofy little bits like that. I think it's very good content. I think part of me there was a lot of stuff like in design that we didn't get time to do. I would have liked. Speaking for like the Zuck project, like originally all the things outside were supposed to be like its own Slayer task, and that's like part of the reason they exist is so like you could get a Zekar Slayer task, and like that didn't come to fruition. So I think like again, it's probably the self-deprecating thing, but looking at it, I'm like, oh, this could have been so cool. Have a cool Slayer task here with its own drops and stuff.
Random thought. Do you feel like you're really in tune with what the community wants when you're like creating your content? Do you ever think like, I know this is something they're gonna want and love, or?
I'd say I'm in tune with a portion of the community. I don't think anyone can be in tune with the whole community because it's so broad. Like you can understand where they come from, but it's harder to be in tune with it. I think I'm better at saying players won't like this. If I see something internally, I'm like, players won't like this. I'm pretty good at that. I'd say I'm all right at going, yeah, players will love this thing. For the most part, it's normally like, yeah, I love this thing. This is a great piece of content X person has worked on. I can be like, yo, this is great. But I tend to be better at going, this community is going to have a problem with this thing, or this community is going to have a problem with this thing. I try to be in tune with players as much as I can. It's something that I feel like the longer I'm here, I kind of become a little bit less in tune. It's probably something I can work on. Like I feel like when I very originally started, I was very in tune with the high level community. It's probably because I played the game so much.
Yeah.
You kind of like, obviously you lose time. There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And there's so many different communities. Like working on RuneScape, you kind of realize like, oh, this group needs this thing, and this group needs this thing, and you kind of realize that everyone's kind of in their own bubbles. Like I was very much in like a super high level bubble, especially when I started. I was like, oh, everyone can afford this, everyone has this stat, everyone can do this. It's like, cool, that's actually just like not the case at all. And it took me a while to kind of like, of people like showing me I was wrong to an extent.
Yeah. It's gotta be hard. There's so many different types of groups.
Oh
in the
yeah,
game.
it's crazy.
Like, holy.
I think trying to make like combat content is like that's really hard because there's so many different types of players and they all approach combat differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very hard because you'll do something for one person, upset another group, and it's like, how do you deal with that? Especially when two different player types have like completely conflicting views of what they want. Like that's very difficult.
And I'm sure like some of it is maybe even unintended. Like you change something and then don't realize that it's
Oh yeah, 100%. There's so many like random niche things that players will be like, yo, we used this thing for this very specific case, and now you're like, you've ruined my life. And it's like, oh no, I just I wanted to make this thing slightly better, but it being terrible was actually its use case. Yeah, it's very hard. Like you can change something, and like 99% of players will be like, "This is so much better," but the 1% is like, "This is terrible." And that's something I struggle with dealing with personally. It's like, what do you do for that 1%? Like, how do you outweigh those? Because for the 99%, it might be like, "Yeah, this thing's way better," but it still means nothing to me. Like, I'm still not going to use it, even though it's way better. But like, for the 1%, it's like, cool, you just ruined this thing that was actually really big. There's like a weird example here. I think it's like the Vine Whip or the Lava Whip was used by like random speed killers, and we changed it in the combat beta, and they were like, "This is terrible," and was like, "Okay, sure, it's terrible, but it's like better for like 99% of players." But the thing is, like, the other 99% of players weren't going to use it anyways. So it's like, who are we actually doing this for? That's like the very hard situations to kind of get to the point of how to fix them. Otherwise, you just like you end up with like piles of random jank that is just like made for like these weird little individual cases. And it's like how much random jank is too much.
What other games do you play?
So recently I've been playing a lot of TFT.
Of what?
I used to play a lot of Teamfight Tactics. It's a League of Legends like
okay.
game. It's not League of Legends. It's made by Riot. You some characters and stuff. It's like a strategy game. Been playing a lot of that recently. I used to play a lot of League. Not so much anymore. Outside of that, like I'll pick up Pokemon games like every year. I play a lot of card games. Outside of that, it's kind of hit and miss. I like Soulsborne games. So I played like Elden Ring, Demon Souls, Dark Souls. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the shop with the games I play.
Do you game like a lot still, or?
Say a fair amount.
Yeah.
I Like I'd say most days I get in like at least an hour or so. For like adulting has to take precedent.
Yeah.
There was a time when I like just started Jagex where it was like I had money to do stuff. Finally, like proper job.
Yeah.
I just spent all the time just playing games. It was like that was great.
I mean, it's good when you're trying to save money.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's easy to save money when you're a gamer.
Yeah. I was living at home, man, and I was just like playing games every night. I was minted.
Do you ever get inspired when you're creating RuneScape content? Playing other games?
Yeah. I'll struggle to think of an example right now. There's quite often when myself, Mod Ryan, and Mod Ramen are working on bosses, we'll be like, "What do you think of this as a reference?" And it's always just a Destiny reference. And it's like,
Destiny.
it's like the scale is grand. They're very good at reuse. Which obviously artists love if you can save them time. But it's kind of become a bit of a running joke where one of our concept artists, Mod Bazinga, I hope I get his mod name right. He'll just be like, "It's before we show him a reference, he'll be like, it's a Destiny reference." And we're like, "Yeah, it's like, no one's allowed to say Destiny in the office near him anymore." It's excellent. But no, yeah, there's always stuff where you pull in from other games, be like, "This is sick! Like, look how they do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's cool. I mean, I couldn't imagine like having an idea in my head and then like making it appear on a computer screen, but like that's really cool. You can like see something and be like, "That's neat. I should do that," and then you can go make it.
Yeah, it's very fun. Sometimes it doesn't work out, or sometimes you'll be like, "This is terrible in comparison," and then you're just comparing it to the reference, and you're like, "This is nowhere near as good as that." There's an example. There was a mechanic that Kezalam used to have. There's like a whole nother room for Kezalam, and in the phases you would, instead of destroying the pillars there and then, you'd go to the other realm and you'd do some mechanics there to like satisfy the phasing. And it was like there was a lot of stuff I'd pulled from a Destiny mechanic that was similar. Like there was pads you stand on, you charge them. We had pads that you charged. But it just felt like terrible compared. So it was always compared to the reference.
Oh, okay.
We was like we need to go back to the drawing board because it's just like it's not its own thing enough. It's not like it's not got its own personality almost. Yeah, so that one got ditched. It is quite interesting. Like I think players don't realize how much stuff we like will make, and then just be like, yeah, nah, let's get rid of that. Like we'll play test early so that we can kind of get a feel for those things.
Yeah.
Or like not even early. A lot of stuff you'll be like late into a project, you'll be like, yeah, we're not really feeling this. Like a lot of the people I work with, especially, so I work closely with Ryan Ramen. Like no one's precious about anything. They're very much like, call a spade a spade. If it's not good, tell me, and we'll do something about it. Like that's kind of like the running theme is just like, we want this to be good for players, so we need to know if it's bad. And like often as a designer of something, it's very hard to see if something's bad unless someone's telling you, because you just have like this inherent knowledge of why things work the way they do, like what the intention of different bits are. But the intention of different things doesn't really matter. What matters is like the perception of how those things are. It's not really a very good example. But like there was a mechanic in Zami originally where he'd spawn pillars, and for each pillar up, he'd take 50% reduced damage. And I, as a designer, was like, "This is cool. You know, it means players can like eke out a bit more damage and just try and phase him whilst the pillar's up."
Yeah.
It's like, cool. He's only got 100k left. Let's just ignore the pillar and kill him. Whilst also putting you on a timer before the next one's spawning, and you hit like full 0 damage. And the rest of the team are like the intention's good, it makes sense, but like it just feels terrible. So he's like, yeah, cool. That's all I needed to hear. Get rid of it. Like it's not gonna work. Players often will like message me or like will put a post on Reddit or whatever and be like they'll kind of like eke around the issue a little bit. They'll be like, oh, this could be bad. This thing's like this. And you know, like they would just want to say this thing is bad or this thing feels bad.
Yeah.
And like sometimes that's all you need to hear. Like this thing isn't good. It's not doing what it's supposed to. Sometimes you just need to get it like loud and straight.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
my
don't.
dog's going crazy.
Oh,
there we go.
your dog?
Yeah, I've got 2 dogs.
What kind of dogs?
So I've got a French bulldog,
Mm-hmm.
and a cockapoo.
A cockapoo.
He's asleep at my legs, and she is rolling around like a nightmare. And I'm hoping you can't pick it up.
Oh no, no, I can't hear anything.
Awesome,
I
that's
didn't
good.
know there was an animal in the room. I'm googling cockapoo.
Oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. It's like a poodle crossed with a cocker spaniel, I think.
Oh my god,
That
they're
makes
so
sense.
cute.
The name.
They're fluffy.
He is very fluffy. We call him Doofus because he is just an absolute doofus. That's the only way to explain him.
Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry, I'm coming. I was looking at the dog. I because I've never heard of that before. I love dogs.
Edit it on screen for people watching.
Yeah, I will. I'll put that in the Kebbit Fur picture on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dogs are the best.
Buy Kebbit furs now.
No, don't say that. They'll buy them all.
Guaranteed confirmed Kebbit fur update.
What do you like to do when you're not gaming, by the way? You go on vacation regularly. I learned that looking at your Twitter.
Yeah, fairly regularly. Like, we have however many days a year we have to take as holiday. So, like, I use them. Luckily, like, we have access to fairly cheap, like, holiday home. Through family members, so we're often there.
Okay.
We don't go crazy often, like maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
But outside of gaming, it's more gaming. Like I said earlier, like I do a lot of card games.
When you say card games, do you mean like physical cards or?
Yeah. So like, what players often like point out on the streams and stuff, I have like big Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the background. I play Magic the Gathering. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Not as much as I used to. I used to play it loads, like competitively, but not so much anymore. I try to play it when I can. Yeah, that's kind of it, really. I don't feel like I do much else. Like adult intake feels like adult intake takes up like so much of my time.
It does take up a lot of time. Yeah. Can I ask you those rapid fire questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah? Okay. So I guess what's your favorite boss right now?
Ooh. Oh, I'm not good at rapid fire questions because I have to think about everything. I'm gonna say Nakatra.
Okay. Yeah. What's your favorite?
No elaboration.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, like, what?
Nah, you're good. No elaboration.
What's your favorite skill right now?
Ooh, long-term archaeology probably, though I feel like that's a bit of a common choice. Outside of that, even though I don't really do it and I want loads of improvements for it, I'd probably say Hunter. Like, I want loads of improvements for Hunter because I feel like it's actually a bad skill, but for some reason I enjoy it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not. Yep, I was just absorbing the information.
Take it in.
That's just not something that most people
he enjoys
say.
It, he says it's terrible. That's really weird.
Like I
wasn't expecting on that.
Yeah, no.
Although actually, I really enjoy farming as well. I don't like player-owned farms, so that was very high for me. And
you
then
like tree runs and stuff.
Yeah, I used to like tree runs, herb runs.
Okay. Yeah.
Like player-owned farm, the XP being so high, it kind of ruined farming for me a little bit.
I was not going to.
I quite like old school farming.
The farm came out, and that was my only hope.
That's probably part of why I liked it.
Yeah.
Like it was not super common.
Yeah, when the garden update happened, I was like, oh my god, herbs.
Don't make me plant them.
No.
Maybe that's why I like the garden so much, is because I already liked original farming.
Yeah,
and it made it better for me. Maybe I'm biased.
Okay. Black gold trimmed or rune god armor?
Ooh. Oh, that's really hard.
It is, yeah.
I think black gold. Is it? Oh,
you don't look certain.
I'm not certain. The thing is, like, in game right now, like, I'm often running around in the rune god armor.
Yeah.
It looks so good. And it's like, it's so nostalgia.
Oh, I should my outfit. This is saved.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's dreadful.
It's, yeah.
The only thing it's got going for it is the Crocs. Or the Gators, whatever Mod Dragon decided to call them.
The not Crocs.
The not Crocs, the Gators. Yeah, exactly. Oh no. Yeah, I'm one of the. I refuse to use a wing slot. Wing slot doesn't exist to me.
I hate the wings. Hate it. So I had to put on the worst ones.
Terrible. I'd give that 0 out of 10.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dreadful.
My favorite was black gold trim. I just thought it looked so sick.
It looks so good. Yeah, 100%.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw you in the like you were changing your outfit, and I was expecting a reveal of your
No, there's nothing of it.
It was not. It was the same thing.
I realized I activated it, and then I got distracted by my animations, and I was like, what Walker otherwise did I actually end up buying? It turns out most of them. Oh, here we go, I'll undo it. There you go. This is what I normally do.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's nice with the Slayer cape. I would really like black armor in this style, like in like the reforged rune set.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be really nice.
Okay.
The kind of classic look.
So we're sticking with black gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, locking it in. Fancy boots or fighting boots?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with what I always used to wear, which was fighting boots, because I'm edgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you match it with what does it have? There's like matching
I don't know.
Cuffs or gloves, or there's some sort of matching.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It's not called that, but there's something that it matches.
Nah.
No, I promise I'm not making that
up. Nah. This is like a new RuneScape thing, I swear. Safety gloves. What? Oh, that's from the cockroach place, right? Stronghold of player safety. See, yeah, you can tell that you're newer than I am. See, that's from 2008. All the cool kids went to the Stronghold of Security, so the player safety one.
I fought cockroaches.
Yeah, no, I've never seen those in my life.
Oh, okay. Okay. So just the fighting boots, you didn't even match them with the gloves. Okay.
Boots, yeah, nah. Was there like fancy gloves as well or not?
No, I don't think so. I think
Oh,
just the
weird.
boots. Yeah.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Wild. Speaking of this place, like it is so dreadfully outdated. Like
Oh
if
yeah.
you go in,
Yeah.
if you go into it and look at the goblinches, oh my goodness, they are awful. Earlier you said something about like should content die? This content should just be deleted and no one's missing
Wait, the
out.
stronghold
Like
of
this is
security?
awful. The stronghold should be
Deleted.
removed. Like, I'm looking at the goblinches now. They are awful. They are terrible.
Yeah.
They do not look good. I don't.
It's like
Maybe I'll pick up a stat of the day. I'll ask our data team if we have stats on how many people go in there. I reckon it'll be like less than one a week. Like no one's going in there. That place is awful.
there was a I only go in there when you guys like update something and I have to go kill a specific thing and it's like easier to go there than anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to kill I think ghosts or something at one point,
Sure,
and
yeah.
I like was like, okay, I'll just go down there. I don't know. Yeah, I never go in there anymore. I spent a lot of time in there when I was a kid, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing in there, but
I think a lot of people did, to be fair.
it used to scare me.
So partly probably because the warnings come up and then there's like slightly high level things. Like, oh my goodness.
I was like terrified.
During like the Wild West when you lost your items like properly on death as
well. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Ooh, I wouldn't say an individual topping because I don't think like any pizza with one topping is like ideal to me. I have a real thing for like chili and honey, like
chili
spicy and sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a pizza with like chilies on it, and then hot honey. It's really really good.
Hot honey is so good on pizza.
Yeah, and then maybe get some pepperoni on there as well. So you got salt, spicy, and sweet. Yeah. It's very good.
That's a good.
I think that'd be my one. Yeah.
Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
It depends. If you're going to like Domino's or something, which already like isn't proper pizza, fine. You can have pineapple on it. I have no qualms with that. It's already basically not pizza.
Yeah.
If it's like a wood fire oven pizza, then I'd keep it simple and say no pineapple. Go with like something more classical. Let the taste come out. I feel like that's a very diplomatic answer.
Yeah.
Try not to offend anyone.
That's okay. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. When can we expect more dies for EOFs?
Oh God, no. I want to say no, but part of me also wants to say yeah. I wouldn't ever expect them. I have this nasty habit of being like, yeah, we'll just do this thing. It should be easy. But then like, oh, we need artists, and we need this, and we need this, and we need someone to curate it. And it's like, why do I just agree to do this thing? So I'm going to say yeah. Something I'd like to do. I actually think like Third Age dyed EOF would be sick. Like a proper.
Can you imagine spending that much on an EOF?
But people would, and that's
they
really
absolutely
cool.
would. Yeah.
I want to say yeah, but also like maybe not.
Yeah.
Again, diplomatic. Upset no one.
I actually only own 3. I'm not one of those people. I like own 3 EOFs.
Yeah,
I don't.
I own 3. I normally own one for each style, and that's it.
I don't even. 2 of mine are for magic, and one's for necro.
Sense.
Yeah. And then
I've got 2 magic and necro, and then I got my Zuck sword one as well.
Oh, okay. I don't use melee or range. Like I just don't.
I don't use ranged right now just because it's like well expensive, and there's like still things I can do to perfect like my magic setup, my necro setup, especially now because I need to get everything to 100. But I'll get range stuff once I've got everything else, which would probably be never.
I just don't like it, which is weird because I love magic, but I don't like range. I don't know.
Range used to be my favorite style, and then for whatever reason, it just stopped being my favorite style, and then mage became it. I think my thing is actually like I like an underdog. I always like, even like when I play card games, I like playing decks that no one else is playing. Like I liked Magic when it wasn't popular. I like Ranged when it wasn't popular.
Uh-huh.
I like Magic again now. Like, it's just like up and down.
Last rapid fire question. If you were a vegetable, which one would you be?
Oh God. Probably potato.
Why potato?
I don't know. It just sounds right. Potato. Bit of a spud. Can do anything. Kind of. You'd have it with probably anything. But still a bit boring. For some reason, the phrase couch potato just like vibes with me.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. No beans though. No beans.
No beans. You wouldn't wait 2 hours in line.
I wouldn't wait 2 hours for that. Really?
I don't. How should we? I also don't end them. They just kind of end.
Boom.
Like this will probably be the end. Is there anything that you wanna? How should we go out?
I don't know. However you want to go out.
All right. Well, I don't even know.
That's the ending.
This was a thing. We did.
This was a thing that happened. We'll do it again sometime. See if my answers have changed.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hot PVM. It was so cool to sit down and talk about literally everything in RuneScape with Mod Sponge. As always, like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, be kind to one another. See you next time, friends.